Alright, so here's a 12 GMC Sierra. It's got some codes. It stalls out. It goes into limp mode. Got an engine oil pressure performance code. I got a 5-volt reference code and a generic bus code just saying things aren't communicating right. We've already changed that oil pressure sensor, but that 5-volt reference code right there is probably why the oil pressure sensor isn't working. So let's see what else could be going on with that 5-volt reference causing that oil pressure to not be working right here. Okay, in live data, I got command air fuel equivalency ratio is at 1. It's supposed to be somewhere between 10 and 20 on this, which is actually 1%. That indicates that it's running lean for whatever reason, but I really don't think it's running lean. Let's see what happens when we shut the ignition off. Engine not running, and it does this 0.9 thing, still in red. That says to me that there's some sort of a short going on with that command air equivalency ratio. Now those air equivalency sensors are just fancy O2 sensors is what they are. But I don't see any codes for shorts to those. So there might be an issue with the wire between them and the O2 sensor. That's this harness here where it runs up like that. A lot of time you'll get damage right here, but that's not the problem. It's going to be these wires running all the way back like that to the oil pressure sensor, O2 sensor, stuff like that. And that's really what I'm going to have to chase down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this manifold off, and I'm really going to inspect the wires going to this MAP sensor, the oil pressure sensor, and back to those O2 sensors right there, because they're all on that same circuit with that 5-volt reference circuit 1. And let's see if we can find a problem. Alright, ripped it apart, now testing wires. I'm hooked up to the brown on the oil pressure sensor right now, and if you come over here to the the engine control module, this is the gray connector. If you count 10 up from the bottom on the inside there, I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's where that is. You can see we've got a good connection there. Alright, your black connector on your oil pressure sensor, back onto the gray connector. You can count the 5th one down right about there, and that's him. That's your black wire, 5th one down, gray connector on the right side, on the inside of the right side. Okay, last wire on the oil pressure sensor is the black one, and that is this bottom left side one on the inside on the gray connector. You can see we have no problems here, so I think it's safe to start chasing down O2 sensors, see what our 5-volt short is. I'm going to pull the whole harness for this.